This week's best MMA bets, we're talking UFC Vegas 71. And if you're wondering why the shades are not coming off during this episode, is because the shade has been thrown at me. And right now, my locks of the week have been getting dominated, destroyed, taking fat L's. Nicolau last week gets laid out with a knee in 2 minutes. So I'm going a little superstitious. I'm leaving these on to block out any bad energies coming my way. We're going to talk first most confident picks. We're then going to jump to some of the favorite underdogs, and then we got lock of the week, value bets / parlays, and we'll throw some things at you that potentially can bring some cash back to you. Smash the likes if you guys haven't. If you're new, subscribe to the channel, turn those post notifications on, and make sure to share the video as well. I want to first jump into section number 1, the most confident picks. All right, I am throwing them up on the screen right now, and I'm throwing 2 high confident picks straight at you. It's Bobby Green to win. Minus 255, I think that he is an extremely high likelihood of success fighter here in this matchup. I know Drew Dober caught him, put him out. It was a flash knockdown, flash knockout, I guess you could say. But he was winning that fight and looking nasty before. I don't think Jared Gordon holds a candle to the level of Drew Dober. I feel like Bobby Green's going to be touching him up all night long. I think Bobby Green looks dominant this fight. One thing we have to respect, Jared Gordon is fairly durable, okay? So minus 255 money line. If you were like, all right, listen, I want to play the prop. Decision is at minus 110. I don't think the value is great. There's no plus money to it, but it's still much better than minus 255. I will say there is a 70% chance Bobby Green goes out there and wins the decision. That is my official prediction. But it wouldn't be absolutely crazy if Bobby Green pieced up Jared Gordon and got a stoppage, especially riding a tough loss in the last one that he's hungry coming back with vengeance for. And then obviously Jared Gordon kind of robbed against Paddy Pimblett last time out. Bobby Green money line is the safest way, but decision is there if you're considering that play at minus 110. Now, looking to the side of Montel Jackson, if he loses this fight, that is one of the biggest upsets in the history of MMA because he should be an absolute winner. Right now, he's a massive favorite at minus 550 against Ronnie Yaya. Due to good reason. I mean, Yaya's past his prime. He's super limited in the stand-up. Brings jiu-jitsu, but if you actually look at this matchup here, Montel Jackson can control where this fight goes. He's a southpaw. He's long. He's actually got a really fast one, too. Yaya is a sitting duck for the straight coming down the line. I think Yaya's getting laid out here. Montel Jackson is not this big KO artist. It's not like he's getting KOs every single fight. But right here in this matchup, I think it's pretty damn likely he's getting a knockout. I would say him winning by KO is like 75-80% chance. It's minus 130. I got Montel Jackson to win. He should get the hands going. I think there's a real shot for the KO. The money line is at that point where it's unplayable, really, for the vast majority of people. Parlay piece, maybe. We'll talk parlays at the end. Ultimately, these two are extremely high confidence picks. Not calling them the lock of the week because the lock, I'm sniping out one. And this week, I'm going for dog money lock. But these right here are 2 winners. Let's jump to some of my favorite underdogs on the card. I'll bring 2 up on the screen, and then I'll give you an honorable mention at the end. We got William Gomez and Brogdon Walker, and I've already heard the hate on the Brogdon Walker side. This matchup here, I think she has a legitimate chance to control on the ground and beat Lucindo. We don't know enough about Lucindo at a high level of MMA. Brogdon Walker's a finalist on Tough. To me, that tells something, some level of competition. Fighting against good fighters. Miranda Maverick win comes to mind, though many years ago, still win. Fought Aaron Blanchfield. Then the Juliana Miller fight, yes, bad loss. But ultimately, those fights are at 125 pounds. She's fighting Lucindo at 115, who's 21. And she's kind of an X factor on the floor. Oh, but it looks like her jiu-jitsu's good. Yeah, you watch tape on her fighting girls. The jiu-jitsu looks good on non-UFC level matchups. We don't know what those girls' resistance level of jiu-jitsu would be. And I think Brogdon Walker is competent on the mat. I think she can wrestle a little bit too. Tough on the feet, not a lot of power. Lucindo, though, is a powerhouse, hits really hard. If Walker gets crazy striking, the chin does come up a bit. It's not impossible that she gets laid clean. But at the plus money, I see the grappling edge. I'm picking Walker to win the fight at plus 280 money line, and Sub is plus 1800. I think Sub could actually come through here. Lucindo 21 at minus 350 versus the Ultimate Fighter finalist. I don't like it. I don't like it. Listen, there's a lot of guys that didn't win the Ultimate Fighter that turned out to be solid fighters, ladies as well. So ultimately, you don't have to win the show. And I know Brogan's not the youngest, but she's got that tough experience. I think it's a huge factor, guys. So money line plus 280. Now, the other side is the William Gomez side. I think that he beats Francis Marshall. Plus 175. I just money line it. I'm not looking at the props at all for that fight. I think that Gomez can win a hard-fought decision. I think Gomez could outstrike Marshall, hurt him, and get a knockout win. Gomez is a real prospect in his kickboxing from France. He can definitely strike his ass off. Solid grappling defense, good competition level. Yeah, Marshall's looking good. He blitzes Marcelo Rojo. But Gomez would knock out Rojo too. I would bet on Gomez to knock Rojo out. Fought Jerno Earns in his UFC debut, a guy who can definitely fight. Good experience on the European circuit. Yeah, not UFC, but European circuit's legit. I think here, Gomez gets the W. I don't have enough faith in the young Marshall to win, who's sitting in that minus 200 range. I'm going the dog side. I'm going William Gomez to win. Now, the honorable mention, I don't like as much because value to likelihood, it's not great. Plus 135. Slight dog money on Brady. He stand. Ultimate Fighter finalist as well. I like these Ultimate Fighter finalists. I actually think that Brady's got a real shot to win the fight. I'm picking him to get it done against Dana Bategro. I feel like Brady's wrestling is going to work that fight. I think he can win a decision. Less likely he wins by submission, but that would be super impressive. And he's a guy in his early 20s. He's 23. So the improvement can be so vast between each fight. How do you say Brady has no shot? Plus money, real shot. I'm picking him to win, not just bet side. I pick him to win. I think he is a live dog play, plus 135. The value is not as good as these other two, but it's something I had to mention. Brady Heastan to get it done. I do want to jump to the next section, the lock of the week. Underdog lock this week. We're going Sergey Pavlovich over Curtis Blaydes. I kept the shades on throughout this whole thing. I'm pushing back any shade coming at me. Any evil forces out there at work against my locks of the week, because I'm telling you some crazy shit's been going down with these locks. And this week, Sergey Pavlovich, I think lays Curtis Blaydes flat out. I'm thinking first round knockout. I like money line, plus 150, Sergey Pavlovich. But let's be realistic. If he is to win this fight, does he win a hard fought decision? Likelihood's a lot less. It is around plus 175 for that KO side. I don't think you're crazy if you're betting on the knockout. Money line, if somehow Pavlovich turns out to be ready for 5 rounds, wins the decision, you'll be pissed that you didn't just go money line. And it's not a huge difference between plus 150, plus 175. Give me the money line side. Now, as far as if you were to go wild with a prop, you're like, yo, I want Pavlovich to win in round number 1 plus 335. But if Pavlovich is to win in round 1, it's got to be by KO. That sits at plus 370. So definitely, I think, a valuable spot. I know Curtis Blaydes can wrestle, but don't forget about Pavlovich working with Eagles MMA. He's got a grappling base, too. We look at the fight against Overeem, and that's it. He's going to get smashed by Curtis Blaydes. Curtis Blaydes couldn't hold down Rosenstruik in his last fight for effective periods of time to do vast amount of damage. I guess that wasn't his last fight. I know he fought Tom Aspinall, and then the injury, the fucking knee snaps, whatever, ends the fight. What we saw out of Curtis Blaydes in his last real fight, I wasn't not impressed by it. I mean, it's good skill set. He's a high-level guy. But ultimately, Pavlovich can stop the takedown if Rosenstruik can too. And when Pavlovich punches you in the face, you normally go down. His power is crazy. He's a Russian savage. I call him the Russian Express. I think he's a monster. I think he's like the real-life Drago. And I feel like he is on path to world title. And Curtis Blaydes is a great test. But after this weekend, we're probably going to be like, wow, how the fuck was he a dog? Because this guy might be the scariest heavyweight to walk the planet right now. Pavlovich, underdog lock of the week. I love that side. I love the plus money. I see him getting it done. That's a great play. And I feel good about it. The shades have stayed on. I'm feeling great, actually, right now about Pavlovich getting a win. Guys, I do want to talk some value bets / props, I should say. And then, we'll close it out with the parlays. But first, let's go value bet style. Let's talk some value bets. I'm going to first mention a moneyline value bet, which I think is sneaky because Karol Rosa was the favorite as the lines opened. The public has bet Norma Dumont, who's now actually became a slight favorite. Karol Rosa, I mean, it's near even money, but she's like minus 105. I like Karol Rosa to win against Norma Dumont. I see her going out there and probably winning by a decision. I like the moneyline side. Money line, even money, Karol Rosa. That's the play for me. I think she beats Norma. Norma Dumont fought a 1-0 girl last time out. Rosa 16-4. Good experience. Don't write her off because she got taken down by an Olympic silver medalist in Sarah McMahon. That is not what Norma Dumont is. She does not have the takedowns of Sarah McMahon. And Karol Rosa's got some takedowns in the arsenal. Don't sleep on Karol Rosa. The people are. Don't be one of them. I'm picking Karol Rosa to win. Close line, money line, your best side. And also, I'm thinking we got to throw the Jeremiah Wells by KO prop at you because he fights anybody. I think there's a really high chance that he's sleeping them. And it's big plus money. Plus 350? Plus 350 for Wells by KO. This matchup especially, I see him landing a shot over the top. I see Selmelsberger going out. Wells by KO. That's the play for me in this fight right here. I like Wells by KO. Plus money, prop bet, something to look at, something to attack. I'm a fan of it. Now, guys, I feel like that's a pretty A1 prop/value bet section. I gave you 2 heat ones. I want to jump to the parlays. Let's talk some parlays. Let's set it up over here, and let's see what we can come up with. All right. Parlays. Where we at? Okay. So I want to give you guys like a super likely parlay. I think it's Montel Jackson and Bobby Green. It's not going to give you good plus money, but I really think there's a huge chance that both of these two end up coming through. Now, if you want to go with underdog lock in your slate, plus 314, I don't think a bad idea. If you're like, listen, I don't want to play that one, but I'll ride with you on Karol Rosa, plus 230. If you're feeling both, plus 720, plus 727. But plus 720 range is what you're looking at. That's a pretty A1 play, I'd say. Imagine we went nuts. We had a Gomez in as well. Plus 2,175. Brogdon Walker. If this came through, that would be absolutely insane. Rosa, Pavlovich, Gomez, Brogdon Walker, Green, Montel Jackson. I just feel real good about Montel Jackson and Bobby Green. I also feel real good about Sergey Pavlovich. So my take would be those 3 in a play are better. I do want to give you somewhat of like an alternate play that I do think has a real fair shot of coming through. I mean, you could go Corinne Silva. You could go the under 2.5 if available in the fight between Tafa and Usman. And then you also could add to your slate of Jeremiah Wells. There's some risk here too, but I feel like these 3 have a real fair shot. But obviously, I feel like you can tell as I'm talking about it, this one doesn't get me excited. Corinne Silva in my play is not making me feel good, man. I'm not feeling her. I don't want her in my play, actually. I took her out. And I don't know why Norma's in there. That was an accidental click. Holy shit. We got to find 127. There we go. So under 2.5. And then what do we add from there? I think you go Bobby Green, the under 2.5 there. Montel Jackson, plus 132. You got another good play. Pavlovich, if you want him, plus 480 range. I like these plays. I feel like there's good shots of them coming through. I mean, obviously you can go crazy and add in a lot, but like 2-3 fighters / over under is better. 4-5 lotto territory. Same with anything more than that. So ultimately this is big plus 1,000. And I feel like there's a real fair shot that this thing happens. So we'll finish it out with this one. Guys, I hope you enjoyed this week's episode of this week's best MMA bets. I am here to bring some dynamite this week. I think the shades are helping. I don't know. Maybe I'm delusional. We shall find out. Guys, let me know your lock of the week in the comments. I'm very curious. Let me know. What do you think of my lock? and the most confident picks and any of the bets that I talked about on this card. Make sure to smash the likes. Very excited. Fight Companion going down on Saturday. Make sure to tune into it. If you got nothing to say in the comments, we just enjoy the content. W in the chat. It helps me out a ton. Much love to everybody watching. I appreciate your continued support. Thank you all so much, and I will see you all in the next one. Peace, guys.